And so I'm continuing going through the tools. Now, I just have a little bit of an exception here, and that is I did not get this at the Paper World Creative World show, but I have to show this because I've had it for ages and I really, really need to show it. And as I'm going through products, I think it's really important to show it here. I had hoped to have seen Uniball at Creative World, but they weren't there. And Uniball very kindly, Uniball USA very kindly sent Jacki a box of this to me. So Jacki, thank you so much for for getting Uniball to send this to me. And so I want to go through these brush pens because a few people in my PAScribe community on Circle had asked about these new brush pens. I mean, obviously they came out last year. I can't get them in Portugal, so they're still new for me. And I wanted to have a look at them. Now, this is, I'm going to use the Canson marker pad. Obviously, I'm using the PAScribe lining template because the marker pad is blank, so I need to rule some lines up. And this is the box which arrived. So let's open this little box. The box is really cute. It was really well. It's really well designed, and it was really well packaged. And there's a lovely little saying on the inside. And the box comes with the fineliner drawing pen set and these brush pens. Now, I've not really used them, had a little play with them, but for all intents and purposes, I'm kind of a virgin with these brush pens. So I'm kind of learning as I do this video. I love this book, Uniball. This is such a great book because it opens flat and it has a really nice textured cover. The paper is quite nice. You get some really nice stickers. But more than that, it has something inside it that I absolutely. So I adore color plan, and this light blue color plan. I think this is the turquoise blue color plan. I mean, color plan is one of the papers I love to work on. It's really beautiful. It's really wonderful to write on. It's not that good for brushes though, Uniball. um, and I don't think it'll be that good for brush pens because it's a little bit coarse, but the writing paper in the book is quite smooth, so that's great for the brushes. So let's get on to the product. Let's put the book back in the box. Color plan. How wonderful. Oh, such a great little surprise. All right. Let's rule up some sheets, some pages, so that I have some lines to write on. Just going to drop the lining template on, and I'm going to, actually, you know what? I think I'll just pin it in place because I had a little bit too much coffee. So I'm pinning it in place. I have these 0.7 millimeter pins, which leave very tiny pin pricks. And I'm pinning it in place because, you know, for clumsy people, you know who you are. You know how much you love ruling up paper with rulers and having the rulers slip. So it holds itself in place. As you can see, I'm not even holding it, and it is not moving. I'm just going to rule this whole sheet up. Now, there are bits here that are rougher at the back side so that it won't slip. But, you know, I know a lot of people struggle with ruling up and the ruler moves and this and the other. So I designed the lining template to ensure that that's not moving when I'm ruling up. Let's take those out. Get the 55. So I'll do some copperplate. So I'm going to put the 55 in its cram holes, like so. And that way I can rule up my 55-degree lines very quickly. Every other one. And I'm just going to slide this down there. I can rule the rest of the page. Every other one. So it's a great little system. Take those out. And there we go. Full page ruled out, no problem. So let's look at the fineliner set first. So of course, the fineliner set, that's set. It comes with a brush, 12, 7, and 3. So so 3 light brushes. Oh, great. They hold together. Oh, excellent. I love it when packaging works. So let's start with the fineliners themselves. So let's start with 3. Oh, upside. Yes, let's start with 3. Nice and small. Let's zoom in. It's a nice brush. It's a nice fine line. It works really well. I quite like it. This is the 7. And let's look at the, oh, and this is the 12. So this is a lot bigger. This is, I mean, so obviously the 7 you can use it for, right here. 7 you can use it for, sorry, the 12 you can use it for quite large lettering projects. I'm drawing some versals. And take the 3, and I'm going to do some hatching inside of that. You know what? Let's use the 7 and let's do it a little bit more. Let's use the 7. So we're using all 3 of them from the set. Let's add some flourishing. Woohoo! Lots of fun. So these 3 sizes work really well together. Uniball, this is a really good set. The tips are really nice as well. Pins out of the way before they fall on the floor. All right, so let's look at these brushes. So there are 3 types. There is a, oh, okay, so I'm going to grab one of the other sets. So they also sent these ones. So most of them appear in here, except this brown. I want to take the brown out. So we have all 4. Let's see what the colors look like. Let's start with the darkest color. So what does it say? Brush. Mitsubishi, made in Vietnam. Water and fade-proof pigmented ink. Recap after use. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for if it tells us what kind of brush tip it is. So it doesn't. So let's work out what it is. So I have some very specific ways that I approach new tools. It's a soft tip. So you don't really want to press that hard, otherwise you'll damage the tip. So let's look at that a little carefully. If you look at this, you can see the size of the tip. If I put the tip down and press, make the stroke. That's the full width. I would not want to press that hard on the tool because it would probably damage the tip. So just about there. That's probably the thickest that I'd want to go with this tool. I'm always very conscious of my tips because if you're not careful with them, you're going to ruin them. It's nice and sharp. Let's see how sharp it is. What? That's brilliant. But Uniball. Well done, guys. That's fantastic. Now let's do some hatching. Excellent. Of course, I have a Canvas for Calligraphers course coming up, so you will see some demonstrations with this on how to use it for Canvas, and you can see that sort of starting to work already. Some writing. So I wouldn't want to go larger than 12 mil. There you go. Yeah, kind of like that. Let's some lines on here. So you dry? Yes. Wow, dry. Excellent. Now I want to go up to, how tall is that? That is 9 mil. So let's get some 9 mil lines on here. Where's my 9 mil? Here it is. Drop. So what I'm doing is that the little numbers here. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm dropping the 9 on the line. On the line that I've ruled up. Oh, I've done that the wrong way. I really should have done the bottom of that line. There's the 9 there. I did the top and I should have done the bottom. So this is done 6. Let's see what it looks like. It's kind of prefer it at 6. Glad for that happy mistake. Let's do it at 6 rather than at 9 because I feel I'm pushing the tool too much. Funny, you're only really seeing my head because I have to look at this. Let's do a majuscule. A little more. I think moving upward a little trickier. It just requires a little bit of care. I like the nib. It's quite soft. You just need to be a little bit careful with it. Let's see this sort of taupey color. So this brush is the color of the brush doesn't really indicate the color of the ink. So it's the same soft tip. You might need to work a little bit. And let's try it. It's quite nice. Now let's try the brown I got out of the separate pack. This is not part of the fineliner drawing pen set. That's a lovely brown. Lovely. Okay, and let's try this pale color. Yeah. Whoa, that's nice. I like this pale gray. A really pale gray. Now, this is kind of a Payne's gray. Let's edge it, shadow. The two colors work really well together. And let's add the black onto the brown. See how they work together. That's quite nice. Now, I just want to try something because as I'm writing with them, I'm feeling the tip is a little bit. So I'm not sure if it's me, if it's what I'm feeling. I kind of feel the black is a little bit sturdier, and that might have more to do with the pigment rather than the tip. The tips feel the same. There's just a slight difference, and I don't know. Maybe the difference is because black pigment is by far the easiest pigment to make. As soon as you move away from black, you start running into problems. You need to add extra carriers, extra binders, and so black is quite stable, so it flows out of the tips much more easily than other colors would. Quite nice brush pens. Not good for small work because it requires an inordinate amount of control because the tip is so flexible. So I would suggest if you're going to use this for any kind of lettering that you really work sort of, if you're doing it, if you're using it for calligraphy. So I have a very specific distinction here because when you are writing in real time. It's direct writing. You're not coming back and adding and fiddling with it. You're really, every stroke you make, when you put them together, they make a letter rather than sort of building the letter, constructing it. If you're using it for writing, calligraphic writing, like this brush pen copperplate that you've just seen me do, I would think wouldn't want to write smaller than 6 millimeter. You might want to go up to 9 millimeters. I wouldn't push it to 10 millimeters because you could damage the tip of the brush. You can stay on the point and produce some really beautiful fine work. It's quite impressive. And I love the fine liners. I love the fact that you have 3 sizes, and they really thought through these 3 sizes because I love that you have this 12 that you can do something nice and bold, and then you have the 3 that you can do some hatching with, which is nice and small. I'm just sort of waffling on. Let's sort of look at it. There it is. And then the 7, you have these 3 contrasting weights that you can really get quite a lot out of. So let's just look at that. Those fine lines again. And here are the colors. So we have the black, we have that gray, we have a brown, and we have a really nice pale gray. So this pale gray has been edged in this sort of Payne's gray brown, gray, Payne's gray. And then the brown has been edged in the black. Quite a nice ring. Well done. Well done, Uniball. Well done, Uniball. Thank you for sending these. So I hope that's helped some of you who are on the fence with getting these. They're really quite nice. Obviously, they'll be good for hand lettering as well. And they would be good for painting, those of you using them like a brush. I don't use it like that. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And if it's a technical comment, I will pester Uniball to get back to you on answering questions that I will not be able to answer about their products, but I can answer anything that is calligraphic or lettering. Thanks very much.